think importantly, this is perceived, I'll tell you, on the Wall Street community as political pushback. I think when you look at some of the data out there, there definitely is increased concern about it, but some of the data shows it's not necessarily any worse than any of the other vaccines. And I would argue there's a little bit of political pushback on that. So it could be a little bit more politics than actual science. And I would say most people have brushed this off to be nothing more than that. And we've got plenty of vaccines, and we've been talking about this from Moderna and Pfizer coming through the pipeline.
Of all of the companies that are out with vaccines, Michael, which one do you favor in terms of what it could mean for longer-term profitability? Well,
that's an easy one for us. I think in terms of who's going to be in the lead over the next couple of years, it's clearly Moderna, Pfizer-BioNTech, and to a lesser extent, Novavax. Pfizer and Moderna have clearly demonstrated the ability to not only manufacture and get it out there with a safe and effective vaccine, but even as of today, Moderna announcing the start of their multiple variant vaccines. So they're way ahead of everybody else. So if we do need endemic vaccines, if we do need a booster shot every year, which most people are saying we do, clearly those players are going to be in the lead, and we're most favorable in those guys.
Michael, given there are all these options, is there a risk in the US that we start to see a little glimpse of what seemingly has happened in the EU, particularly as it relates to the AstraZeneca vaccine, where there's perhaps some negativity towards it, but where people pause and say, no, I want to wait, I want to get my vaccine of choice? I guess here it would be more about the one they're most positive on as opposed to being negative on them. But is there a risk that that slows down the rollout here?
Well, I actually would argue that what we're seeing and what I predict is that you're going to see a huge wave of supply from Pfizer, Moderna, to a lesser extent J&J, which I'm sure you could talk about too, and that there is going to be huge demand for that over the next few months. Whether there's questions about some side effects here or there, we heard about this, I expect that to happen, but at the end of the day, the risk-benefit of the vaccine, the high efficacy, and the fact that people want to get this and get out there is absolutely on track, and that's what we're seeing.
Michael, quickly, why did Lilly go down despite what I thought looked to be somewhat promising results from the Alzheimer's treatment? I mean, we desperately need this.
Yeah, I'll make two comments on that. One is Lilly's had a fantastic run year to date on the initial top-line results of the Alzheimer's drug. Data came out, looks very good. There was a sell-off. Lilly's clearly suggesting they're probably going to have to run a second study, as some people thought, and there's some profit taken on that. We got to wait for that next study. Interestingly, Biogen, of course, as you know, with an FDA decision on their Alzheimer's drug at the FDA right now, decisions by June. There's a lot of nervousness about it. You can pull up the intraday chart. Biogen was down as much as 5-6%. We hosted a doc call today. Nervousness about whether the FDA reviewer, Billy Dunn, is still working on that review, but there's a lot of nervousness about that. We'll find out by June 7th.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.